Hi, Taurus. Welcome to your March 2021 General Tarot Update. It's Raina here. So let's see what March looks like here. Okay. These two cards came out. We're going to have both of them. The heart of the matter is the Knight of Swords. This can be a card of change being in the works for you. It can come rather swiftly, and I think that this is not just the case for Taurus. I think all of us are going to experience change. This is the change of the seasons. And this is also a card that connects with air signs. So Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. This can be a man. Sometimes he is on the younger side, I would say under 40. Or if he's older, he has a youthful demeanor. Could be a combination of fire and air. The air sign might be his actual sun sign. And the fire element coming into his personality, very outspoken, might be quite intelligent. And if this is somebody that you're interested in, they're going to be a little bit different than you in terms of personality, because Taurians tend to be a lot more placid, a lot more mellow and not as sharp. I don't mean, I'm not talking about mentally sharp, although the Knight of Swords certainly is very intelligent, but I'm talking about that, I was going to say prickly nature, but that sense of really just telling it like it is. I don't think many signs are as, or cards would represent it as much as the Knight of Swords. So, and then, in terms of professions, this can be being a lawyer. I think I've seen like a writer or teacher. In the past position, we have the Three of Pentacles. This is a card of teamwork. So people working together for the greater good of something, cooperating. And this may be a case where a new coworker comes into it and throws off the rhythm. I could see something like that. And they're not like a team player, maybe. They like to do their own thing. If this is a coworker, maybe somebody that you're having a fling with. And like I said, I think that for the average Taurus person, this individual is a lot different in temperament than you. But that may be a big part of the attraction, actually. The higher message is the Two of Swords, and I think it's basically saying if you're involved with two people that you have to choose. Oh, one thing I'll say about the Three of Pentacles, this could be a fellow earth sign, maybe even a fellow Taurus, but somebody that you're building a life with, the Architect's card. So maybe they're very dependable, but this person might be very exciting because they may be less than dependable. And a part of you may not care because they're so sexy or they're just so dynamic. And it's almost like you might say to yourself, I can handle this. I can deal with what isn't there because of what is there. Taurus is a sensual sign, so if the person is physically attractive, if they exude some kind of sex appeal, even if they're not conventionally attractive, then the Taurus person might be, hey, I'm down for this. what crosses you is the Chariot card. And this can be a feeling of being out of control with your life in some way. Now, if this is like an affair and it's a coworker, maybe something like that, or it's something that is outside of a committed relationship, you may feel very guilty because a Taurus person tends to value loyalty quite a bit, and yet you may feel like you can't help yourself. You might feel like you don't have balance in your life and like you're restless. And I attribute that to Uranus being transing your sign and maybe making you a lot more prone to sudden behaviors, and especially if they involve breaking free, feeling like you want to like run away from any kind of commitment. And I'm not even saying that that is wrong, because if that's what you're feeling at this time in your life, then I think that you should think about exploring it. However, I don't believe in lying to other parties and saying, oh yeah, I'm faithful to you when you're not. You know, if you're going to be more open and you don't really want somebody that you have to answer to in a relationship at this point, doesn't mean for the rest of your life, but at this point, then it makes sense that you would verbalize that to your partner and say, you know, I just can't be faithful right now. I need to just be by myself or be with other people if I choose to. I don't want to have to just stick to one relationship. In some cases, you may have been married before and you just don't want to have to be obligated in that way. What is coming in is represented by the Ten of Wands. This is the card of the person carrying a heavy load. This can be, if this is like a workplace matter, what I would say is that you may be feeling a sense of being more outspoken. Perhaps in the past, Taurus, because you do tend to be quite chill, you didn't speak up about something and it kind of festered. And some of that may have to do with the distribution of work. Maybe you are working for a long, like you're doing the work of two people. To me, the Ten of Wands can be, you know, in some cases, just a temporary situation where you have to work a lot temporarily. But for other people, this may be something that is going to be par for the course. And you may be feeling like, hey, this isn't fair. Why should I have to be the one? Where is this other person's responsibility that is my coworker? Why do I have to pick up the slack? And then the boss says, well, you know, your coworker is on maternity leave and she wants to spend time with her child. Don't you think that's a good idea? And a Taurus person may pause and think about it and say, well, yeah, of course I think it's a good idea. But why do I have to be the one to sacrifice for her? Why me out of everybody else? And that can be like, some people would never utter that because they feel that that's disrespectful to the boss and that could get them fired. And yeah, I mean, it's always a possibility, but you sometimes will be very brave in those circumstances. So I picked an outcome card. I try not to end on like a card like this. So we have the Five of Cups. This is a card of grieving the loss of something. Isn't it interesting that not only did I get the I didn't get the Four of Cups. I got the Three of Cups. What I perceive this to be is that you're going to have to realize something about your situation that maybe you've been resisting, Taurus. Maybe you have been trying to paint something in a different light that it just is not there. And you have to face the fact that something that you were counting on isn't coming through. So maybe you were promised, hey, if you work overtime, we're going to give you that position that belongs to so-and-so, because they're gonna move, across the country. So they already turned in their resignation. They're gonna leave, blah blah blah. But it's gonna be in a month, and then the month drags on into 3 months, and so on and so forth. And they're still giving you crap, and they still don't really. They're not putting you in the right position, and you might feel this sense of resentment about it. But I feel like with the Five of Cups, it's like you tried so hard to get them and then still didn't get what you wanted. And now you have to grieve that loss. Can that loss be the loss of a job? Well, with the Knight of Swords, you may be in a position of being outspoken, which might be uncharacteristic. And I think I didn't even mention this. This is a higher message, the Two of Swords. So we have more swords, is that you may have to decide. You may have to pick and choose what you're going to do about a particular situation. And if you're someone who is invested in making excuses for a partner's behavior because you think that you love that person, that can lead you to feel that there's some kind of decision that you have to make, but really it's not the same decision that you think it is. The decision may be whether or not to continue to stay married to somebody, whereas you might think it's, I have to decide whether or not to, stay with this person versus that, and you're not really seeing the futility of the situation. Now they're telling me that my battery's running low, so let me get to this card. The outcome. So I picked a clarification card. We have the Three of Cups. This is a social card. This is the card of celebration of something. Maybe you're spending more time with friends as some kind of a support network, or if you know that your job is, maybe you got laid off or got your hours cut. I would say more like your hours cut, and that's what's making you disappointed, that you're like kind of putting feelers out. Hey, do you know of a job? But there's like a lighthearted feeling here, so perhaps you do know that better days are ahead. Okay, that's what I have for you, Taurus. If you'd like a personal reading, the link is below. Take care. Bye.